Ladies and gentlemen, and we are getting into the thick end of this competition. 3 more matches, and the first of them is about to light up just now. We move into the men's super heavyweight division. Bulgaria and the United States of America go next. And let's meet the first of our athletes. He hails from and is representing Bulgaria, where he is a national champion, EAF European champion, and WAF champion of the world. Raise it up and welcome Acid G! Georgi Tsvetkov! Georgi Tsvetkov of Bulgaria waits at the table for the introduction of one of the very best super heavyweight arm wrestlers that this nation has ever produced. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome this special athlete. He is one of your own and a former world champion. He's an American legend. And his name is Easy Money Dave Chaffee!
Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Put the women and children to sleep. The super heavyweights are on the main stage, and what a treat it is. Georgi Tsvetkov, absolutely phenomenal conditioning. Ladies and gentlemen, this 400-pound human being arm wrestles with the greatest of ease and comfortability. What an absolute stud top roller. The likes that you haven't seen much in the super heavyweights, and his opponent, a former teammate, member of the Erie Wrecking Crew, the pride of Erie, Pennsylvania. I can only imagine the looks on Bart Wood, James Wagner, and John Hanowski. Those 3 guys were teammates, big-time supporters of Easy Money Dave Chaffee. Make no mistake about it. Both of these guys are capable of absolute domination. For me, Neil, it's going to happen in the hand and wrist. When will Dave Chaffee's hand and wrist be compromised? We have seen Georgi, whether it's win or losses, always have an amazing hand and wrist positioning at some point during these super matches.
Travis, I think whenever you come into a match of this magnitude, people see it in their mind. Everybody predicts this is about the top roll of Georgi Tsvetkov, about the horsepower of Easy Money Dave Chaffee. We all envisage that Tsvetkov takes the hand and wrists and he must be able to finish quickly, or we'll see these guys tied together and Dave Chaffee will go to work with that unbelievable side pressure. Will it play out as such?
Very devastating first and second round usually for one Dave Chaffee. I believe Georgi will take the hand and wrist. I'm just not sure he'll do it in time.
It's kind of a clunky, unorthodox herky-jerky style to Dave Chaffee's arm wrestling. It may not look the most aesthetically pleasing, the most fluid. This is not a guy that moves in a very textbook fashion, but you're looking at a man who absolutely brutalized the super heavyweight division for year after year, who stood toe-to-toe with the very best of the super heavyweights in Eastern Europe and shook them to the very core. We know what this man is capable of. He's suffered significant injury, and there's been a couple of false dawns. If he was to overcome Georgi Tsvetkov tonight, he's back. Easy money is back in the game. And a lot of people would love to see that.
And the word from Erie, Pennsylvania is that he is healed up, that he is healthy, that he is the old Dave Chaffee. My goodness, the arm wrestling that is happening right here, it's all at the beginning of the match. What will the hand and wrist control look like after they say go?
It's a very weird feeling when you are tied to Dave Chaffee and the man moves to the side. Very unusual, and look at the power go down. Georgi Tsvetkov hangs him up, but Dave Chaffee had huge horsepower there. Couldn't keep that elbow on the pad. Tsvetkov was trying to stop seeing stars there. He'd gone to the absolute bank trying to stop that thing, but Chaffee was equal to him in the center of the table, and he didn't lose his hand and wrist. He hung onto his pronator pretty well.
Two ways to look at this. First, from an amateur point of view, the arms came to Dave Chaffee's side, about to win. But if you know a little bit more, you can't enjoy to see the hand and wrist all jacked up, and once again, the hand and wrist is compromised. Georgi Tsvetkov is right where he wants to be. Ladies and gentlemen, this will be an unbelievable test, a huge mountain to climb. Now, and for the remainder of these matches, once that hand and wrist is compromised by your own side pressure, it's really hard to keep it from then on.
A couple of key things here. Firstly, Dave Chaffee's hand position at the moment is left wanting. You can see that the wrist is slightly sacrificed there, and as Travis was alluding to there, just because Georgi Tsvetkov is on the B side, he is in the dominant position in this match. Far superior hand and wrist position. And that's because Dave Chaffee is not able to secure the rise. He must get that rise nailed down before he moves hard to the side. And the one chink of daylight that he does have in this is we know he's got that killer press. If he could open up and extend Georgi off his bicep and then move around, stay engaged with the shoulder and move to the press, he may have something there. We know that Tsvetkov will not move off that top row all night. He will stay there, go there again, and go there again. And it's how much gas he's got in the tank.
Yeah, best to see Dave Chaffee resort to that press when there's already a victory or two in hand. Being this is the first round, now down 1-0, this is a very daunting task for the American. He is in big trouble from a hand and wrist positioning, and make no mistake about it, this guy right here is a absolutely amazing arm wrestler. Georgi has been trained by the great Fetan Shashevsky, some of the great Bulgarian arm wrestlers. Very rarely can someone with that type of size have such an acumen when it comes to an IQ of a top roll. This guy's most likely going to keep that hand and wrist compromised from here on out. Very surprising for me to see Dave Chaffee dig himself out of here.
Here we go. Easy money. Erie, Pennsylvania. Prison guard. Former world champion. 2010 Mesquite. Dave secured his world championship title. We've seen him in the major promotions around the world for well over a decade, and as I said earlier, a real terror in the super heavyweight division, a guy that no one could take lightly, and a lot of people willing him on to get back to his best. We know that arm wrestling is a sport where you can compete into your later years, and Dave Chaffee, he's had a few ups and downs, had a significant neck injury that's really hampered him, took him down from his pedestal a little. But when this man is on, he is a very difficult challenge for anyone to overcome. And right now, he's very much alive on. He needs to try and slow things down in his mind and be a little bit more technically diligent. Just look at those markers. Look what he needs to be in place. Very hard to try to just dominate someone with the all-round experience and ability of Acid G. Georgi Tsvetkov is a very, very good arm wrestler himself. National, European and world champion many times over, and faced a who's who in arm wrestling, and he's held in high regard. I think he came into this match, would you agree, Travis, as a favorite?
Yes, no doubt. I think that the guys who really understand the inside of arm wrestling understand the losses from Tsvetkov to Devin Larratt, the losses to Jerry Caderet. These are different human beings. These are human beings that love, thrive with their hand and wrist compromise. Dave Chaffee, similar to me, a little different beast, needs that hand and wrist more. You can see the transition coming. Tsvetkov holding on for dear life. This is good for Dave Chaffee. If the transition is possible, now's the time to do it. Dave not being comfortable enough, and Tsvetkov once again, that hand and wrist so amazing, so comfortable in that full hand top roll. Georgi Tsvetkov, listen, the gatekeeper. If you can't handle him, you can't be the super heavyweight champ of the world. There's a time when you're just looking for Georgi. Hey, maybe you should stand up, work a little more on that side pressure hooking power, because when it comes to that full hand top roll kneel pickup, I'm not sure no one does it any better than Tsvetkov.
He's known as being one of the best top rollers in the game, certainly I should say, in the super heavyweight division. And this is ominous now for Dave Chaffee, because he gassed there. He definitely ran out of gas. Now that leaves him one lane, and it's with the shoulder coming forward. If he hangs on and drags backwards, Dave will be well aware that that lane is not going to pay any dividends for him. He does have that last option. The positive, as I said earlier, is that Tsvetkov has stayed on the brack. He stayed on that same muscle group. We saw tonight a failing of Yanis Amelins in that same area for this same reason. And we do know that if you look at Dave Chaffee and his level of comfort when he hits that press cleanly, it would be above that of Mindaugas Terasaitis. This guy can really press. We've seen him do it with Liletin. We've seen him do it in a number of matches.
And let's talk about the most important factor here. You believe in Dave Chaffee's press, but from looking at him in that chair, I don't know if he has the fight that's needed. You're talking about, it's not one press, Neil. It's probably 5 starts, maybe 6 starts with the slippage and pressing in each of them. I'm not sure that.
And not only that, Travis, I actually think it's a pace thing as well. I don't know whether you'd agree, but in terms of that first inch, I think Georgie's a little quicker. I think he's making that initiation quicker. He's gaining the control on the hand and wrist, and he's flattening Dave's rise, absolutely nailing it. That is very scary when someone's got that guy to transition into a press, when someone's secured that, is a scary thing. And for me, Dave would have to really box this match in. He'd have to move everything to the left, right to the front, and charge forward with that shoulder. And honestly, right now, the body shaping doesn't suggest that's something we're going to see.
Of course, and we're not saying he can't do it. We're saying that with all the information that we have, the history of these two athletes, not something. And listen, the arm strength of Georgi is just not dominant enough for you to think, even with that hand and wrist compromise, that you can drag. And listen, you can drag. You can drag down to 9, 10 o'clock, but eventually the brakes are on. A transition will have to happen. Let's see if Dave Chaffee believes in his press as much as Neil does.
Don't move, go!
Acid G again nails the height. Now there comes that press from Dave Chaffee, and the shoulder goes forward. Horsepower engaged, and the diesel goes down. American muscle is in the house, and can he hang on? The answer today is no, and Acid G rolls through the hand and wrist of Chaffee. It's Tsvetkov with the win, Travis Page, and talk these guys through that replay, mate.
The Bulgarian super heavyweight, once again, a very impressive outside top roller. Amazing job from Georgi Tsvetkov. What an opportunity to beat Dave Chaffee in the United States. Not many people have done it. Once again, we see Dave's press better than I would have thought there. It was a sticking point. You can see Georgi driving, and eventually Dave understanding there wasn't enough there. The fight was too much. Your champion is Georgi Tsvetkov. And my goodness, listen, I don't know if you've known Georgi's look in the past, but right now, looking like a runway model up there, whatever Tsvetkov is doing, nutritionally, keep it up, big boy. You look amazing.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am here with Acid G, Georgi Tsvetkov of Bulgaria. Now, Georgi, I think you may have been the first East versus West athlete to touch down in Texas. You came out here early. You were excited to come to the USA to acclimatize, to get yourself ready to do a job. And you just did it.
Yes, welcome to the fans, welcome everybody. I came 7 days ago to acclimatize myself, to adapt the change in the time, in the climate, and I did the great thing for me to win.
Now, coming into this match, you knew a great deal about the level of threat represented by Dave Chaffee, legendary arm wrestler, and many people said that if he was able to defeat you, it was an acid test. You looked comfortable up there today. You looked like you could find what you wanted early. How hard was that match?
Well, Dave is one of the best for 1 year. For me, he was the best puller in the world. Very tough guy, legend, and also he is amazing, like a person. I studied him and I prepared myself for his strongest weapon, the side pressure, and I think that I did a good job in my preparation.
You certainly did, Georgi. The super heavyweight division is stacked. Never before, arguably in the history of arm wrestling, have we ever seen this kind of level, this kind of depth. Your last time out on the right hand before this, you had significant injuries. It required surgery, but you said that coming into this, we were going to see the very best of Georgi Tsvetkov. What is next for the best of Georgi Tsvetkov?
Let's hope that I will have a match again, and I want this time Gennady to face him. It's also a dream match for me, and I think it will be a crazy war on the table.
Ladies and gentlemen, what do you think about that, Arlington? The Georgian General, Gennady Quickvenia. We'll know you're watching at home. You've been put on notice by Acid G, Georgi Tsvetkov. Ladies and gentlemen, round of applause for your match winner, Georgi Tsvetkov. Good job, brother.